Alrighty, we're back. I had someone ask me this very important question, so shout out to this guy. I was going to answer normally, but I figured I might as well just make a video out of it. And obviously, I'm not going to be biased because I have a GR86, but which is better, this GR86 or should I have gotten a Miata? I'm going to tell you right in this video. So I did a ton of research right on my phone using AI and the lovely wonders of the internet, Google. And I found some of the biggest reasons why I would choose one over the other. And when I gathered all this information, I wrote it on my phone, so I'm going to have this out as a reference to some of the key points. And we're going to start off with the cons of a Miata over the GR86. The first one, and probably the absolute biggest one, 100%, is the amount of space that you get. Not that this thing is crazy spacious by any means, but comparatively to the Miata, it actually is. When you fold down the seats in this thing, because this thing actually has back seats, unlike the Miata, when you fold down the seats in the back of this one, you get a ton of space and you can put a whole lot of things that you would not expect inside. And another pro of the GR86 over the Miata is this is going to give you more power. Neither one is going to give you all the power in the world. There's other cars in this price range that you can get if all you care about is power, but that is a pro of the GR86 if that's something you care about. Obviously, that's not why either of these cars were built, but I know that is a key point for some people. Another con of the Miata, don't worry, there is some pros. We're going to get into that. But another con is it's just not as practical, which goes into the space thing. For daily driving, there's not really places to put your phone, your wallet. It's really only a weekend car, summer car, show car. Not really good if you're carrying almost anything around. It's not a grocery getter. You can put groceries in this. You could put some groceries in the Miata. Of course, you have a trunk, but not as much. And another big thing for the Miata that really lets it down is you can't use it if you have a winter. If it snows, you can throw snow tires on there and you're still gonna have some troubles. Where with this, still definitely not a great option for winter. But if you put winter tires on this, you're going to get a lot further than you would in the Miata. And then this last thing that I'm going to say about a con of the Miata might strike some bad points with some viewers, but it does not look as good as the GR86. I feel like we can almost all agree with that. The GR86 mass appeals to so many more people compared to the Miata. The Miata, when I see a Miata, it does look good, but not nearly as good as the GR86. And that's me not being biased. If I look at these two vehicles on the surface as a non-GR86 owner, I would almost agree that anyone would say this looks better. Now we're going to flip onto the Miata side on some pros of the Miata, why you would choose a Miata over the GR86. It's more lightweight than the GR86. So going and driving on curvy roads, it's going to feel a lot more like a go-kart, where this feels more sporty, race car, more planted, I guess you could say, because it's heavier. So that is a pro of the Miata, I would say. Another huge pro of the Miata, and probably one of the biggest reasons people choose the Miata over a GR86, is you can put the top down. Obviously, you can't put the top down. There's not even a sunroof in this thing. So that is another huge thing. If it's a weekend summer car, you get to put the top down and enjoy a car that can put the top down. And my last pro that I could find of the Miata is, once again, going back into the first point, it feels more like a fun go-kart, whereas this is more like don't come at me for saying this, but this is more like a cheap Porsche, I guess you could say, driving feel-wise. This is more like you're behind the steering wheel of an actual race car. The Miata is more like I'm behind the wheel of a fun go-kart that's lightweight and just fun to drive. Now, phone away, with all of that being said, is one better than the other? It all depends on what you want. If you want a more fun go-kart, you don't have winter, it's always sunny, nice roads, then maybe the Miata is the right choice. But if you care about looks, modding capabilities, power, the GR86, I think, is going to be a safer choice for almost everyone watching this video. Maybe I missed some things. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with some of these things. But I feel like most of us can agree. For the mass majority of people, unless you're like over 60 years old, the GR86 is just going to be better for most people. Hopefully this video helps you decide on what car maybe you're choosing, or just gives you some information you didn't know before. Feel free to comment. I might use you for a video in the next one, who knows. And thank you so much for watching.